On the surface, Hailey Bieber's life looks like a never-ending campaign shoot. Designer gowns, glass-walled mansions, private jet flights, and a beauty brand that just sold in a deal worth a staggering $1 billion. But step a little closer and the fantasy comes with a cost. Lawsuits, social media wars, and the kind of online obsession that turns every outfit, friendship, and facial expression into a global headline. This is the story of how Hailey Bieber went from Baldwin family kid to a multi-hundred millionaire mogul, how she built a lavish lifestyle on beauty, branding, and visibility, and why some people think the price of her success has been far higher than what we see on the Explore page. Before we step through the doors of her mansions and board the jets, a quick message from the sponsor helps bring this deep dive to life. This video is sponsored by TrueFares. Visit our website now and shop the latest deals. Don't miss out. Check it out today. Now let's step inside Hailey Bieber's world, where luxury, legacy, and controversy are all part of the same brand. Long before she became the face of Rhode, Hailey Rhode Baldwin was growing up in a famous but financially uneven Hollywood family. The daughter of actor Stephen Baldwin, niece to the more prominent Baldwin brothers, and a child raised in the shadow of fame and faith. She didn't take the traditional path of child stardom. Instead, she slipped into the fashion world in her late teens, appearing in campaigns and walking for brands that saw her as the perfect blend of cool streetwear and polished runway minimalism. Along the way, she built connections that would later feed directly into her lifestyle. Friendships with models, stylists, and pop stars. A reputation as a model off-duty style inspiration, and the kind of social media presence that quietly set the stage for a future beauty empire. Her relationship with Justin Bieber turned that rising it girl status into global name recognition, pulling her into a fandom ecosystem already supercharged by years of obsession with Justin's love life and his history with Selena Gomez. By the mid-2020s, Hailey's lifestyle had taken unmistakable shape around extreme comfort and curated aesthetics. Reports detail multiple homes across California, with a primary residence alone valued at over $25 million, combined with additional properties and estates that turn home into an asset portfolio. One widely covered property is a La Quinta estate with a French-inspired twist, resort-style pool, and surrounding mountain views. A symbol of how Hailey and Justin have translated popstar capital into generational real estate wealth. Profiles and insiders paint a picture of frequent private jet use, high-end getaways, and millions spent on luxury routines. From security and glam squads to stylists and wellness treatments, fueling the now viral narrative of Hailey as someone who lives in constant curated opulence. Even her birthday posts have become part of the myth. For her 29th year, coverage highlighted intimate but meticulously styled celebrations, complete with designer looks, carefully framed candid photos, and a guest list drawn from the same elite circle that populates front rows and front pages. This is not just spending for comfort, it is spending as strategy, where every home tour, street-style candid, and vacation montage doubles as soft advertising for the aspirational identity Hailey is selling. Behind the visuals, the numbers are staggering. After the sale of Rhode to ELF Beauty in a deal valued at about $1 billion, multiple outlets estimate Hailey Bieber's personal net worth at around $300 million. That figure is more than her husband Justin's current estimated net worth, which sits closer to $200 million after catalog sales and years of headline-making expenditures, a reversal that has generated endless speculation about finances and power inside their marriage. Comparisons don't stop there. Hailey's fortune is constantly measured against Selena Gomez, whose cosmetics brand Rare Beauty helped push her net worth into the billion-dollar territory, feeding the rivalry narratives that fans refuse to let go of. Even within her own family, the contrast is stark. Coverage notes that her father, actor Stephen Baldwin, is estimated around $1 million in net worth, and that he has publicly praised his daughter for building a financial empire that dwarfs his own career. Hailey's wealth is not an accident of marriage. It is a deliberate construction of brand deals, modeling, hosting gigs, and, most importantly, a beauty line that transformed internet attention into equity. Launched in 2022, Rhode was Hailey's answer to the question every influencer faces. How do you turn likes into long-term value? The brand debuted with a tight lineup of skincare essentials, like a glossy peptide lip treatment and a dewy glazing fluid, wrapped in minimalist packaging and a soft, muted color palette. Demand was immediate. Early drops sold out, waitlists ran into the hundreds of thousands, and by the fiscal year ending in March 2025, Rhode had reportedly reached more than $200 million in sales. In 2025, ELF Beauty moved in with a headline-grabbing acquisition, announcing a roughly $1 billion deal composed of cash, stock, and potential earnouts tied to Rhode's future performance, instantly cementing Hailey as one of the most financially successful celebrity founders of her generation. Exact numbers on her stake were never disclosed, but analysts and commentators have suggested that if she owned just over half the company, her personal take from the sale could cross $300 million alone, on top of her pre-existing wealth. Instead of walking away, Hailey stayed in the engine room of the brand, stepping into a bigger role as Chief Creative Officer and Head of Innovation for Rhode while serving as a strategic advisor to ELF, ensuring that her face and taste continue to define the products hitting shelves. But even as Rhode turned into a success story, the brand was dogged by controversy, from an early trademark battle to later accusations of being more about slick marketing than substance. Almost as soon as Rhode launched, a small New York fashion label with the same name sued, arguing that Hailey's celebrity-fueled skincare line was crushing their visibility and confusing customers, pulling the model-turned-founder into a very public legal fight over who really owned the word Rhode. After a wave of filings and headlines, the dispute ended in a settlement, with both parties eventually dropping their claims, a reminder that in the world of celebrity branding, even a name can turn into a battleground. As the lawsuit faded, Rhode's marketing only became more experimental, leading to moments of backlash like the now infamous lip gloss belt, a shiny accessory designed to hold a tube of lip product around the waist, criticized by some as wasteful, gimmicky, and emblematic of excess in an already saturated market. To fans, it was just another fun collectible in a highly curated aesthetic. To critics, it was proof that Hailey's world of clean girl minimalism masked a deeper culture of overconsumption and performative simplicity. Through it all, Rhode continued to post strong numbers, showing that controversy in the beauty world often functions less like a red flag and more like free advertising, especially when the founder's face is already a global brand. No matter how large her business grows, Hailey's public image remains chained to one storyline: the long, tangled triangle linking her, Selena Gomez, and Justin Bieber, a narrative fans have been building, revising, and weaponizing for over a decade. In 2023, waves of TikTok videos dissected old interviews, outfits, and posts, implying secret jabs and coded messages. The online frenzy grew so toxic that Selena publicly urged her own fans to stop sending Hailey death threats, calling for kindness amid the chaos. Around the same time, Hailey hinted that she was going through some of the hardest moments of her life, referencing mental health struggles and the emotional toll of public harassment without diving into specific details, leaving viewers to connect the dots between her words and the storm raging online. Even in 2025, the drama refused to die. A rumored like on a shady video, whether genuine or misinterpreted, was enough to spark new speculation and reignite a feud many observers believed had finally been laid to rest. Hailey has since described the whole saga as exhausting, suggesting that once the internet decides what story it wants about you, it may no longer be up to you to change it, a reality that sits in stark contrast to the polished control she displays in her home, her fashion, and her brand. Beyond the headlines, Hailey's day-to-day existence reportedly revolves around a tight ecosystem of luxury routines: early morning workouts, private Pilates and yoga sessions, tailored nutrition, and a rotating schedule of dermatologists and estheticians tasked with preserving the dewy, glazed skin that has become her calling card. Her wardrobe acts as moving advertisement: street-style outfits that blend oversized menswear with micro shorts, archival pieces with current season drops, and an unmistakable mix of Bottega, Saint Laurent, and casual sneakers, fueling endless style breakdowns and get-ready-with-me recreations. Travel is just as curated, from lake escapes to tropical retreats. The imagery shared around her trips often prioritizes soft edges and neutral tones, matching Rhode's branding and reinforcing the idea of Hailey as a living embodiment of her own product line. Surrounding all of this is a relatively tight inner circle of friends, models, and influencers, with online culture dissecting who appears in which photo, who unfollows whom, and what it all might mean for shifting alliances in a world where friendship is both personal bond and public content. The same visuals that make Hailey aspirational also make her a lightning rod. Critics accuse her of leaning on nepotism and proximity to Justin, claiming her success is less about innovation and more about access, even as financial advisors and brand analysts acknowledge the genuine risk and investment she poured into Rhode. In interviews, Hailey has expressed fear of not being taken seriously as a founder, knowing that every move is viewed through the lens of her last name, her marriage, and the internet's obsession with comparing her to other women in similar lanes. At the same time, people close to her, like her father Stephen Baldwin, have gone on record to praise her discipline and the scale of what she has built in such a short period, highlighting the generational flip where the child of a once famous actor becomes the main financial engine of the family. Meanwhile, fans sympathetic to Hailey point out that the same social media users who demand accountability also drive harassment, creating a cycle where every misstep is amplified and every success is met with suspicion. Hailey Bieber's lavish lifestyle is more than a collection of mansions, outfits, and viral skincare. It is a carefully maintained fantasy built on real financial power and framed by a culture that both worships and resents the ultra-privileged. Her impact is undeniable. A former model who turned social capital into ownership, sold a brand for $1 billion price tag, and quietly surpassed one of the biggest pop stars on the planet in estimated net worth, all while living under one of the loudest, most invasive spotlights in modern celebrity culture. Whether remembered as a savvy businesswoman unfairly trapped in an internet-made feud, or as the face of a new era of curated controversial luxury, Hailey Bieber's story forces a question. In a world where lifestyle is content and content is currency, who is really in control? The woman building the brand, or the millions of strangers constantly rewriting her narrative? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hailey Bieber's lavish lifestyle, controversies, and legacy, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments whose world we should step into next.